Spring is sprung, and I am ready for you to enjoy some amazing spring crafting. Springtime is one of my favorite times to get creative, to get back outside, decorate my outdoors, and so much more. In this video, I've compiled some of my favorite spring Cricut DIYs that you can make this weekend, so let's go ahead and get crafty.
And then today, I guess we can talk about what we're doing today for real. We are going to be doing HTV on wood, which we've done a few tutorials here and there on that. But this is like a cute little Easter bunny tray. And so it's kind of a spin-off of the Santa tray. Yeah. Because you know everybody does the Santa tray with the deer food and all that. This is for the Easter bunny. And it's so cute. So let's just go ahead. We can get into it. If y'all have questions, feel free to ask.
Absolutely.
But we'll go ahead and start crafting so we don't take up too much time. So we still have our Make-a-thon screen set up, and we probably need to move it. It's gigantic. So that way we could see everybody on Saturday. So let's go overhead. I'm going to show you guys what we're making today. This is like just the cutest little, it's giving me like shabby chic Easter.
Which is
it's like my favorite Easter vibe, I think.
Shabby chic vintage Easter.
Yes. So what we've done is just taken a wood sign from Hobby Lobby, and I got some handles from Hobby Lobby as well and just glued them on here. And then we're just going to be designing this in Design Space and then cutting it out of HTV and applying it. So super cute, right?
Yes.
And then I went ahead and glued on my little handles. We're going to be doing a couple other things to those. I went ahead and glued them because I didn't want them to like not be glued on here initially, but you really are just going to need some super glue gel or E6000. This is a little bit more aggressive. This is probably going to be more permanent, but honestly, super glue gel is going to work just fine. I just brought two options in case you don't have one of them on hand. You may be able to get away with just using regular glue or regular super glue, but sometimes the gel is better on wood because it doesn't soak into it as easily. And then I've got some white paint because we're going to kind of add some white paint on these handles. I've just got some water to rinse my paintbrush. I have a paintbrush, a weeding tool, a pin tool because we are dealing with some dainty letters today. And then I've got two colors of HTV. So I've got this is the Easy Weed Green Olive. This is like one of my favorite colors of all time. And then this is like a true carrot orange. This is actually Soft Flex HTV, but you know what? It works. It's HTV. It's going to be fine.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and get into Design Space. So let me okay. So I've already made this in Design Space, but I'm just going to kind of take you all through how I did it, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go and snag the two font files that I will need and then the wreath file. So let's hop on to the Maker's Gonna Learn website. Also, can we talk about the new Design Space update, Lauren?
Oh,
Lauren posted a video on this yesterday.
If you all have not seen, if you go to your beta version of Cricut Design Space, they now have, get ready for this, the warp text function.
Yes.
Now, this is still in the beta function. It is not in the live version. You can play around with it if you are not a Cricut Access user, but y'all, this is the only drawback for this is that you have to use Cricut. You have to have a Cricut Access membership to use this. So let's talk about, so I did make a video on this yesterday. Go check that out, watch that, because not only do I show you and we kind of play around with the warp function, but I show you how you can do it, y'all, for free and not have Cricut Access membership. So one of the things that I really did not like about and I know, listen, they are still in the testing phases, so I applaud Cricut for for bettering their program, because we all know that they are behind when it comes to other programs. For example, Silhouette has had this forever. They have had this for a while, this function.
Literally,
okay?
I've been doing this in Illustrator since 2009. So yeah. I've been, like, it's It's like they just are so slow to come around to these features. And I honestly think they do it on purpose because it's so streamlined in Cricut Design Space. I think they want to keep it simple.
Yes.
And so that's why they don't release so many like crazy, like fun tasks or like tools. And honestly, I think that they do it on purpose because they got to know.
Yeah.
They got to know everybody else was already doing it. So.
Yeah. So anyway, back to they do have to make it streamlined. The one thing that I was saying that I don't like is that there's no point of movement. So if you, and I'm sorry, this camera,
entire
everything
we have
is
like
shaking.
a grid system above with like the monitors and stuff, and everything is shaking.
Yes. But what I was saying is there's not a point of movement in the Cricut function. Like it is what it is. Like you can't change it at all. And I've seen some people that have made comments, you can do it in different programs. Absolutely you can. You don't have to do it in the Photopea program that I showed you guys. You can do it in Illustrator. You can do it in Inkscape. You can do it in, somebody dropped another one. So there's plenty of different programs that you can do this in. But the Photopea one was free. You don't have to have anything else. So yeah.
Okay, so I downloaded my fonts. I went ahead and pulled in my wreath file. If you all missed me doing that, it was the Omni font, Demonstrate font, and then the wreath file is literally just called wreath. And I went ahead and pulled in this image, and then I saved my work and then hit view and reload after I installed those fonts. That way all my fonts are on my Design Space. But before we do anything else in Design Space, we need to measure our area on our little tray. So let's go overhead. Am I centered? So let's go ahead and measure. Actually, I'm just gonna measure in between our handles. So like 10.5. We don't need to measure all the way across because like we're not gonna be putting words here. So 10.5 by 8. Okay, let's go back into Design Space. And what I'm gonna do here is pull in a basic shape. So I'm gonna be doing an oval, and I'm just gonna pull it over here. Let's go ahead and unlock it, and then we can make this the size that we just measured. So what we say, 10 by 8.5. Y'all know I can't remember numbers to save my life. Okay, so that's kind of like the area that we're working with. So I'm gonna turn this into a guide. Okay, so we're just kind of using this so we know how to where to place everything. Now, if you for some reason can't find this door sign, just measure whatever sign or whatever tray that you're actually placing the HTV on and put those measurements into Design Space. Okay, so I've got my area laid out, and then obviously I want to have a little wreath for my drink and a wreath for my snack. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna send this guide to the back so I don't keep on clicking on it. So we'll send it to the back. And then I'm just gonna open up a text box, and let's pull it over here so we can have it where we're needing it. And we can just start out typing whatever we want. So I'm gonna be using Omni for some of this text. So I'm gonna go to my system fonts, and you could search it here, excuse me. Okay, and this is a very thin font. A lot of people are like, how do you cut such small fonts? My advice for you all is good quality vinyl. If I'm using Caesar EasyWeed, I can cut these dainty fonts so easily. If I was using a bad quality a bad quality vinyl, this would not work nearly as easily. So I always recommend Caesar EasyWeed. It weeds the best. It literally is an easy weed. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna put thanks for hopping by. Okay, and the reason that my letters are overlapped over here is because I think when I pulled this in here, I didn't have the font downloaded yet, and it smushed my letters together. So it's just a formatting issue.
Listen, it was doing that to me with a font that I didn't have downloaded, but it was spreading it apart.
Yes,
and not squishing
it'll do one or the other sometimes. Hannah, these circle leaves are an MGL SVG. They are, if you type in wreath in a Makers Gonna Learn website, it'll pop up. I filmed before we did this, and so I can't talk.
Yeah, it's one of those days. It's one of those days that we are showing up, but
because
our brains are mush. But we love you guys, so we're here.
Yeah, I literally was filming and like finished like 20 minutes before we started on the live. So my brain is a little bit miswired right now. But okay, so I selected both wreaths and then I wanted to align them. So I went align and center vertically. This is gonna make them perfectly straight across from each other. And then I'm gonna add in the text for the bottom. Now, if you are just super, super intimidated by these tiny letters, or if you are easily frustrated by weeding the tiny letters, honestly, you could just put drink and snack and like put that on the bottom edge there.
Yeah.
Instead of doing like, here's a drink in case you're thirsty. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of long, but it looks cute. So, you know, it's totally up to you. So if you wanted to just put drink, you could come down here and drop it. And it would be like a lot less
And
text.
what would be really cute is you could even, and this is more of a little bit of an advanced, if you just did that, you could curve the, oh, you were already doing it.
Oh, we were thinking the same thing?
We were thinking the same thing. I was curving it to that circle.
Oh my gosh, we're on the same wavelength. Okay.
I mean, honestly, when are we not?
I know. Okay, snack, and I'm gonna shrink it down and curve it up. And then there you go. I should have shrunk that down a little bit smaller.
Yeah, Lorraine, it is the same font as the one in the finished design. It's just for some reason when we pulled in the completed project, it was, it like smushed the words together, but I promise it's the same font.
Yes. So you could do something like that if you wanted. Just do drink and snack. That way you're not having to weed such teeny weeny letters. And really, like, you could just go without any at all if you really wanted to, and you could just put in like love and the child's name. I almost said the baby's name. Baby, child, you know what I'm saying. And then so now I'm going to go in and add all of my script text. So let's type in Easter Bunny. Okay. And we're using Demonstrate. Y'all know I use this font like literally every day.
Demonstrate is one of my favorites.
It's one of my favorites too. I used it today on something else. And then I'm just going to shrink this until it fits. Okay. And then duplicate. And then we're going to put love, fill in the blank. I'll put Hallie Quinn. This is my best friend's daughter's name. Okay, Hallie Quinn, and then I want those to be closer together, so I'm gonna go to advanced and ungroup to lines, and then I can manually adjust the lines of that text box. So I can either use my arrows to bump it up, or I can just literally take the mouse and pull it up there. So now it's a little bit closer, and I can select one text box, hold the shift key down, and select the other one, and then just pop it right here. And I can even make this a little bit bigger if I wanted to. And then, so that's pretty much it as far as the designing portion, that part. Anybody have questions? Nope, recheck the dimensions of your guide really quick. Okay, yes ma'am. Are they off? 10 by 8.5?
I think someone was saying it was 10.5 by 8 is what you originally measured.
Oh, see, I told you guys, 10.5 by 8. Okay, let's change the guide and see how much off we are. We shouldn't be too much off though. Let's see. So we might need to make everything like a hair smaller so that it doesn't, look, we do. We probably need to make it a little bit smaller. So let me hide our oval. I'm gonna click and drag everything and just literally shrink it down a little bit, and then go and show the oval again. Okay, thanks guys. Thanks for the assistance there.
There you go.
Love it. So, I mean, as easy as that. So now what I want to show you all is how to cut everything that we want to be orange on the same sheet of orange, and then everything that we want to be green out of the same sheet of green. And this is going to help us line everything up really nicely. What I did, and we can go overhead. So I already cut and weeded these out. I'm going to show you how I did this here in just a second. I actually cut all of the green together, and then I did all of the orange separately because the orange, there wasn't nearly as much orange, and I could just kind of manually go in and place it. But I did cut all of the green together. That way, whenever we go to apply it to our piece, I'm not having to go in and like place everything and make sure these are in line and make sure all of this is centered. This way, it's gonna allow me to just put it on there and know that it's centered, if that makes sense. So we've got the green, and then I just did like the Easter bunny and then these two little sections separately, okay? So up in design space, I'm going to select everything that needs to be green. Now, I like to use my layers panel for this, mainly because it's easier to select different things, but you can either do it that way by just selecting here and then holding the shift key and selecting like that. But I'm gonna delete this because it's like right in the way and it's messing with my layers panel. So I'm gonna go over here and select deer, and then we want to do thanks for hopping by. So hold the shift key down, select the layer that you want, and then we want the wreaths. Those are gonna be green. And what else is green? Love, Harley Quinn, right? Okay. So all of that's green. So what I'm gonna do is come up here next to the operations menu, and I'm gonna change all of that to this dark green color. And it's kind of hard like to see that the color changed, but it did. And then you can go in and select Easter bunny, drink, and snack. And those are all gonna be orange. And so while I have those selected, I'm gonna go ahead, we're not gonna cut those on one big thing. Like I was saying earlier, they're so small. If I cut the Easter bunny and then drink and snack, it's gonna take up like this whole section of the orange. Does that make sense, Lauren? So I'm gonna not group those together.
Right.
But I am gonna group the deer, the thanks for hopping by, the wreaths, and the love, Harley Quinn. I'm gonna group those all together. So
yes,
go back in the layers panel, select them, and then we are going to attach them together. That way, they cut exactly where they're at in design space.
So I feel like a lot of our friends, while you're doing that, will sometimes attach one color and then attach another color. And that is great. That is a great way you can do that. However, if you're wanting to try to save vinyl, but you want to keep everything in alignment, pick the color that you use the most of and attach all of those things.
Yes.
And then if you have a secondary or a tertiary color, a third color, however you want to call it.
Tertiary.
That's, you know,
like
primary, secondary, tertiary colors. You didn't learn that in art class?
Oh, no, I know.
Okay.
It's just, I haven't heard it in a long time. It's an old one.
Anyway, you don't have to attach those. They'll all cut on the same mat out of the same color, but they're easily placed if you have a guide.
Yes.
That's what I was getting at. That way you can still save vinyl.
Right.
And still have a guide.
Yes. And so whenever we go to make it, you all can get a better visual for what we're doing here. When you get to the make it screen, you can see our orange stuff is just going to line up along this top edge. Now, if you're using like a scrap piece and it's only like 4 by 6, you can move your stuff around so that it fits nicely on your piece of vinyl. We've got like almost an entire piece, so I could just cut it on this top edge and be good to go. I would need to mirror everything because we're using HTV. And then in the green layer, I've got everything exactly where it's supposed to go. And I like this because this is like the bulk of our design, and I can just go in and plug those orange pieces in.
Yes.
But I do want to mirror it as well because we're using HTV on here as well. So make sure you're always mirroring your heat transfer vinyl.
Yeah, and Kelly asked, did we attach or flatten? We attached because we're using vinyl, heat transfer vinyl to be specific.
Yes.
And flatten is when you do a print and cut.
Yes.
So
those are
was
PNG
attached.
images. Yes. So we're attaching everything. This is perfectly good to go. And then you're going to select continue, and we're using an Explorer 3. And I always cut my heat transfer vinyl on everyday iron on. And I want you all to make sure that you're checking which box is highlighted on the left side. So like make sure that you're not laying your orange down right now because it has our green highlighted. So you would just take your standard grip mat, and where did I put my mat at? Here she is. You're just gonna take your standard grip mat Let me move all this stuff out of the way. Okay, and obviously this green is not big enough, but I've already cut it out. I just want to show you all how you would lay your vinyl. So you would take your piece of vinyl and you're going to lay the shiny side facing the mat because it's heat transfer vinyl. Okay, so just line it up and then you would send it through the Cricut this way. Okay, so you would cut your green out. And then you're gonna weed everything around your letters and you're gonna leave the wreath and the words, obviously. And that is it. That would be it for the green.
Laura had a good question. Is there a difference between HTV and Cricut Everyday Iron-On? Cricut has just branded their, has just named their brand of heat transfer vinyl Everyday Iron-On, but it is still heat transfer vinyl. That's just what they call their heat transfer vinyl.
Yes. It gets confusing because there's so many brands of heat transfer vinyl, but it's the same type of product.
Yes. So you have Caesar Easy Weed, which is a heat transfer vinyl. You have Cricut Everyday Iron-On, which is still a heat transfer vinyl.
Yep.
They're all the same, but I guess each company wants to try to differentiate themselves.
Yes.
And be different, so they call it different things, which unfortunately can be confusing for consumers.
Yes. Now, once you get into it a lot, you kind of learn like what's what, because I was definitely confused in the beginning. I was like, I don't understand what's happening. But anyway, so you're gonna go ahead and cut your green out, go ahead and cut your orange out using the same cut settings. You just use a standard fine point blade for this. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn my Cricut Mini Easy Press on. So this is the Mini Easy Press. If you all have been here for any amount of time, you know that we use this like literally almost every day. And I'm gonna put this on the medium heat setting, okay? It does not need to be any hotter than that. It will mess up and like smudge your words around and stuff, so make sure you're not going any hotter than the medium heat setting. And I'm just gonna sit this to the side and let it heat up. And then while it's doing that, I'm gonna add, and I don't know if y'all can tell on the screen, but these are like a different shade of white. And I want this to look like it came this way. And so like on this one, I added some white chalk paint to the handles. You can definitely see a difference here. I don't know if you can see that on the screen. Can y'all tell the difference? Lauren, Sadie, can y'all see that?
What? Oh, yes, in the handle?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I just feel like I needed to, and I think it's more noticeable in real life, because I'm not super picky about stuff like that, but I just feel like it looks like such a different shade of white. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a little bit of white chalk paint. Now I'm using the Starcraft Chalk and Mineral chalk paint for this. It has the same finish as the sign that I've got. And I'm just gonna get a little bit and kind of wipe off any excess. And I'm just gonna add some of this white to my handles. And this is just gonna kind of mesh everything together. So we're kind of concealing that cream color because the cream is just not matching for me. Okay, so I'm gonna do this to both, and you don't need a lot. Like I'm not completely covering them because I wanna still give it some dimension, but I'm just kind of adding a little bit. Brenda asked, are you using HTV instead of permanent vinyl for this project as a personal preference? Yes. I personally like to use HTV on wood because I feel like it's more permanent to me. So, you know, if this is something that you maybe want to take off and reuse for like a Santa tray or something, you could use just like adhesive vinyl. But I really like HTV on wood. I just like it. I feel like it like melts into the wood grain and I just really like it. So, let's dismiss the fact that my eye is missing in my thanks for hopping by. We're just gonna act like and the E and your. Let's act like it's not happening. Okay?
It's gonna get added on after this, we promise.
Yeah, I'll add it in. I would never let you guys down like that.
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and lay down my green vinyl and my heat press is ready to go. Okay, so one thing about whenever you apply HTV to wood, it likes to slide around. So don't get crazy and like get in here and start going like crazy. It adheres very quickly and it moves. And I don't know, I think it's just with the adhesive and the texture of the wood, it likes to move a little bit. So I'm just gonna go over this very delicately, okay? And I'm gonna work my way from one side to the other. And I even like to go over one section very slowly and then start to kind of pull this up and make sure that it's adhering down. So I'm just gonna go over this bottom section. So this is a hot to warm peel, okay? And then I'm just gonna keep ironing kind of as I go. Remember, you don't wanna do too much movement or too much pressure. Then after you do this a few times, you'll get the hang of it. It's really not that difficult. I'm just spelling it out for you guys. That way you know exactly what to expect whenever you go to do this yourself. So it adheres so well, like it just sticks right on there, right when you apply the heat. It's really nice.
So people, what level are you on with the mini easy press, which I guess I'm assuming 2?
Yes, I'm on medium, and don't go any hotter than that.
Yeah. And then somebody, do all mini presses have the option of a heat setting? If you get an off-brand that's not Cricut, we can't attest, I guess, to that.
Right.
But the all Cricut has 3 levels. You press it once for 1, twice for 2, 3 for the 3 times, and then 4 times that extra time to turn it off.
Yes. Someone mentioned using washi tape or heat tape to secure the placement. So it's hard to explain. If you guys have ever done HTV on wood, I feel like you understand what I'm saying. So it's almost like the letters, like the vinyl is moving underneath the transfer sheet. And so that's what's moving. And I can't really control that. I mean, I can, when you do it, you'll understand what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I don't think that washi tape would help it from moving because that's not really what's moving. But that is a good suggestion.
The carrier sheet isn't moving.
Right.
If you are not careful
vinyl.
and you're using too much heat when you are doing dainty words on wood, if you're doing too much heat and too much pressure, then it's like the adhesion on the back of the HTV starts slipping.
Right, exactly. And Bead and Tiger made a really good point about if you did this project using adhesive vinyl, like permanent vinyl or removable vinyl, it's very hard to weed dainty words like this. And so HTV is really good and easy to weed when you're working with tiny, tiny letters because it has the transfer tape built in. And adhesive vinyl is just notorious for being hard to weed when you're working with small letters and stuff. So I try to use HTV, honestly, any chance that I can. Yeah. If I can put HTV, I'm probably going to do that.
Yes.
So I've got Easter Bunny right here. Now this is exposed to my iron, to my mini press. And so I don't want that. So I'm going to take this old carrier sheet. I'm just going to lay it down here. You can reuse your old carrier sheets. I like to do that.
Also, Christy asked, would a regular iron work? When I first started using a die cutting machine, I didn't know there was such thing as a mini easy press or a Cricut press or whatever. So I always used an iron. The only thing is your household iron sometimes will not give the same even amount of heat across the whole thing. And sometimes I always had the issue with my HTV coming up off of shirts because it wasn't getting hot enough.
Right.
So it's doable. Just know that if you are having those issues, that might be why.
Yep. I did the same thing. I used to just use a regular one. Now, if y'all are in the market and you're like, I need a new crafting iron, the Cricut Mini Easy Press is my favorite. You can use it for, I mean, even though it's small, you can do t-shirts and everything. I mean, if you're like making and selling a bunch of t-shirts, I wouldn't recommend it, but like if you're making them for personal use, the Cricut Mini Easy Press, it's small, it's mobile, like it's just really good. So I'm just going to I'm going to just be very careful up here on the tops.
I would just put it all over the whole thing.
Well, yeah, we could, I guess.
Because you can the heat will still get through both carrier sheets.
Let's just, so Lauren's saying to lay it over the entire thing, and then we can just go in here and iron and just be super careful. Like I said, this adheres really quickly, even through both of the carrier sheets. Okay. Then I'm just gonna very slowly pull this up.
Hannah made the comment, I never seem to get the bubbles when using HTV. That's gonna be, honestly, the bubbles, in my opinion, when you're doing it on shirts, I for sure get bubbles. When I'm doing it on other surfaces, you're not gonna get the bubbles like you do when you're doing it on fabric.
The only time that I do get bubbles when I'm doing HTV on other surfaces is like if it's a big solid piece of HTV. So we actually have a masterclass coming up, and I was having issues with the HTV because it was a silhouette portrait. It's this month's masterclass. It was a silhouette portrait, and I was having issues with the bubbles, and I'd have to like go back over it with the heat, which is what's really nice about the wood is you can go back over it and like kind of iron the bubbles out. And so that's like what I normally do. If I have any, I can just iron them out.
Y'all, that silhouette, when you are ironing HTV on wood, people are asking, do you have to seal the wood before you put HTV on it, or do you have to wipe the tray down, all this other stuff? No, we just go straight in on the wood.
Yeah, we just go in for it. Now you could seal it afterwards if you wanted to. I'm gonna cut this string off because we don't need it. And you can actually get pliers and pull the staples out if you wanted to. But yeah, you don't need to seal it. And I mean, unless y'all are really gonna be eating off of this, this is like a decorative tray.
Yeah, this is more of a decorative piece. This is not a piece that we're going to be serving anything off of.
Yes, and so that's it. If you don't know what a Stanley Cup is, here's Tanner's. He had it on the show yesterday. I mean, I saw you guys comparing
I did.
cardstock to the color.
This Stanley, just to give it a shout out, I saw this drop from Target, and this is the Joanna Gaines.
Is it? I didn't know she had one.
She has 2 or 3 colors, and
Okay.
it's beautiful.
Listen, I just want you all to know that I'm late to the party. I know like Farmhouse is kind of like making its way out, but I just started watching the Chip and Joanna show, Fixer Upper. And I'm obsessed. I watch it. It's my comfort show. I don't really watch TV, so like when I turn it on, that's what I watch.
Listen, when you have kids, you have to have a like some reality TV.
Yeah. Oh, I have been watching Love is Blind.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's that. Anyway, so we are going to be making the toppers for these. Now let's do overhead. I'm going to show you all the 2 different versions that we're going to be making today. So I've got these 2 right here. Can y'all see those really good?
Beautiful.
Up a little bit more.
They look so good.
Okay, this is our resin one, and then this is one that we purchased from an Etsy seller, and I'm hoping this Etsy seller blows up because of you all.
Yes.
I feel like that would be a really fun day for them. So I'm going to show you all how to use resin, how to put the flowers in there, and then how to apply vinyl and then seal that resin in if you want to. So these are just super fun. We have different options here. So these are just some that this is one we played around with. We did some gold flake. This one we purchased, and it already had, actually, they gave us this one. I think the people we purchased from gave us like a freebie.
So sweet.
And then we got these 2 colors. So this is like a translucent or iridescent type of color, and then we have a gray one here. So let's go to share screen. I want to show you all, this is the close-up of the project actually on the Stanley Cup. How beautiful is that? I love to personalize things. I think that's why I love crafting so much. I just love something that just says, oh, that's definitely like Sadie's cup. That looks like a Sadie cup. So all the supplies you're gonna need are here. Right underneath, we've got our font. You're gonna need resin, the light, everything is here. I saw a couple of you asking which Etsy shop that we use. I'm just gonna click on this Etsy shop to show you all.
Shout out.
Oh, look, we have this one right here.
Wait, is it? How much is this?
Okay, so you've got to pick depending on your size. So make sure that you guys know the measurements of yours. And I think we have the 40-ounce curved, and it should be on the bottom. Yours has a sticker, and I'm wondering if it's covered.
Let me try to see what I can do over here.
So, and then once you select that, you can get you can get a clear pack of 15 for $13.
$13?
Yes.
What?
So that's less than $1 per thing, and then you can sell them for what, like $7, $8 easily?
12.
12.
I mean, think about how much you're investing in this Stanley.
Right.
I mean, this
is look,
necessary.
they've got all these right here. You can get packs of multiples, and it has all the colors listed here. So they've done all this, and you can see the difference between the 20 and 30 ounce versus the 40 ounce. If you've registered and you haven't received your email for supplies, you can re-register.
Or you can email customer support, hi@makersgonnalearn.com.
Yes.
We have a large group crafting with us this week. And even when we don't have a large group, we always have a group.
Yes.
And here on the show, it's just not the best customer care. So
Right.
you need to take all of those concerns and go straight to hi@makersgonnalearn.com. We pay a full team to run customer care. I just wanted to show overhead of
What that's
this
gonna
right
look
here.
like, yeah.
I kind of scraped some of it off. Where's the best place to buy Stanley? Jeannie, I think Dick's Sporting Goods has been doing really good.
Target has them. They sell out.
Now, they do sell out, but Dick's Sporting Goods have had quite a few in.
If you like a knockoff, you can go on
Temu.
DHgate and Temu.
And Temu, they have knockoff ones.
Temus are like $14. We have some back in the supply room.
Do you want to know a secret?
Yes.
So I was very late to the Stanley game.
Me too.
Very late.
I was later than
I
you.
saw a different color of this tan.
Yeah.
That I was like, oh, this is gonna be my. Courtney got one as a gift, and I just started drinking out of it so much. And once I saw a similar color to this, I was like, I have to get it.
Yeah.
It was sold out everywhere. I had to get it on eBay.
Stop.
I may have overpaid by
I'm sure
a little
you
bit.
did. A lot.
But it was so fun, and I love it.
It's like a game,
I
you
love
guys.
it.
It's a game.
Sadie is going to drop you the link to register for boot camp. It's the
Yeah.
little camping emojis.
I love it.
I love it. So
So
you're
creative.
at boot camp. You're going to get crafty with us. So good. Sorry to take your show away.
Sacred Space Crafts. Dollar Tree has knockoff Stanleys. Me and Lauren saw them at the Dollar Tree last Thursday in Knoxville.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're plastic inside, but they look like Stanleys, and they also have them at Five Below, and they have the most adorable patterns like daisies
So
and
fun.
lightning bolts. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. So, anyways, side tangent. Let's go back to the share screen. I just want to show you all. A lot of people aren't familiar with how to shop on Etsy. So if you follow this link, it's going to take you exactly here where we're at. So you're going to want to pick your size. Okay, check the bottom of your cup depending on your size, and then you're going to select your color and quantity. And so it looks like this seller mainly sells in bulk, but they have these options right here. So let's say that we wanted to get one of these, let's go over here and look at the solids. So let's say we wanted this hot pink. I'm gonna go to select an option, and it says solids.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do one, I'm assuming it's color. They don't have one solids, one color. And then right here it says add your personalization. And then it tells you, it says these aren't personalizable, they're blank. So you're just ordering a blank tag from these people. And you're gonna type in hot pink, and then you would just add it to your cart, okay? And this shop name is BBJ Craft House, okay? They've got 5 stars, which is amazing. And lots of the 40 ounce Stanley is a popular size. Christine was asking about the mold. So that's how you would order a blank, okay? Now, if you're wanting to do these out of resin, we're going to go back to the supply page, and I'm going to show you all how you would get the resin mold. Okay, this is also an Etsy seller. Okay, so we're going to click on this mold right here, and it's going to take us to Etsy. And this one, so the mold is a little bit more expensive, but you've got to think, you can use this over and over and over again. This is laser cut acrylic. The blanks are laser cut acrylic. This is just a silicone mold that we would add to cart. Make sure you're reading the description over here. There are so many things in the description that can be easily missed. You can hit learn about more. Look, creates a 40 ounce tag. Okay, make sure you're reading the measurements. Make sure you're reading everything over here so you're not ordering the wrong thing, okay? So this shop has lots of other molds that are super cute. And look, they've even got like the Stanley flower topper. I'm obsessed with this.
So
I need to
good.
order that actually. That's so cute. And so this one would fit a Stanley cup as well, but you want to double check that it fits the size. This one fits the new H 2.0 Stanley, whatever that is. So you just want to really verify. Okay, so let's go overhead and we'll go over all of the supplies you're gonna need to recreate these. Now, if you're not doing a resin one and you're just doing this one right here, if you just wanna buy a blank and add vinyl to them, which is honestly gonna be your cheapest investment, so you're gonna get the biggest return on, like your profits are gonna be higher. I would just get some pretty blanks. Start out with just a few. Don't get crazy. You don't want to have a ton of stock on hand all the time. You want to kind of just have some, see what people want, see what people like about them, and then you can order more as you go.
Yeah.
And you're only going to need the topper and then some permanent adhesive vinyl. Now we're using Starcraft. We are going to be doing dainty cuts, so I recommend a high quality vinyl. Starcraft is it for us.
Love it.
I mean, they're like the end all be all. They're so good. If you have Oracal 651, 10 out of 10 recommend them as well. But this is adhesive vinyl. This is not HTV, okay? So we're gonna actually be cutting this. We're gonna have to weed it and then transfer it on with transfer tape, okay? So that's adhesive vinyl. And then I've got some Caesar transfer tape here. I personally love this brand. You can use whatever you've got on hand. So for those, that's it. Now, if you're wanting to make the resin ones, we're going to be recreating this dried flower one. I'm going to get these out of the way. So you're going to need the mold that I just showed you off Etsy. And then you're going to need some resin. Now this resin is the J Diction. I've got 2 bottles of it in here. We usually buy it in bulk and then transfer it in these small bottles so it's easier to handle. But this is just off of Amazon. This is not a 2-part resin, so it's literally, you just need the bottle, just one singular bottle, and that's it, and you need a UV light. So we've got this UV light here, and this is, I want to say, it says 85 volt to 265 volt. I want to say it's a 10 watt.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's really good. We've linked the one that we used. These are like really good, but honestly, if you live in a sunny place and the sun is shining, go outside.
Yes.
UV resin cures in the sun almost instantly, like maybe a minute. Excuse me. So you're going to need that. And then you're going to need some tools to help you maneuver the resin. So we've got a blowtorch here. I don't know if you call this a blowtorch. It's like a mini blowtorch. You can find this at the gas station near the illegal paraphernalia.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just saying, you can find them at gas stations, like everywhere. So you're gonna need that. I mean, it literally just puts out a little, it's like a butane lighter.
I really think there's, with all this considering resin is its own genre of crafting. When you consider that,
For sure.
you're really not needing that many supplies.
Especially if you've like already played around with resin and you've already got like
you already
all your
have
stuff.
the blowtorch or the you know the different things. So it's really good.
Right.
Can this cause any risk for health while using it while drinking? So it's not actually touching your straw. It's actually not participating in any of the
food interaction.
The food interaction.
Yeah, it doesn't
and you can demonstrate with my cup at any point later. So yay, it's
totally.
so good. Such a great question.
So Kelsey asked, is it actually a blowtorch or a heat gun? It's not a heat gun. It actually has a flame coming out of it.
Yes.
You can use a heat gun though.
Yes.
We just like to use, the flame is quicker and it just zaps it out. So, and I'm going to show you all how to use that in a minute. I've got some popsicle sticks. These are always good to have on hand when working with resin, so you can kind of move the resin around. There's some rubbing alcohol. I've got a brayer just to put my vinyl on. Sandpaper. I'm going to show you guys how to use that. And then I've got some gloves. You're going to want to wear PPE. Anytime that you're working with resin, wear the proper PPE that you are comfortable with. We typically wear gloves. If you're not in a well-ventilated area, you can wear a mask. Read the back of the bottle. Whatever the back of the bottle says is what you should do. Okay. And then I've got a standard grip mats.
Yes.
All right. That's everything. Easy enough, right? Okay. So now what we're going to do, we're going to start with the basics. So we're just going to start with the plain Stanley topper that we ordered off Etsy that has nothing on it. We're not going to be doing the resin yet. We're just going to start simple, okay? And I'm going to show you all kind of how to lay it out in Design Space and add your words and things like that. So what we're going to need to do is grab one of our blanks to start. Now I want to talk about this glitter one versus this gray one.
Okay.
What is important about these is that you need to pay attention to the colors of vinyl that you're selecting whenever you go. Is that in the center, Sadie? You need to pay attention to like the colors that you're choosing when you're working with different blanks. Like we're not going to want to use white or pink or yellow on this because it's going to disappear. But like over here on this gray one, we can pretty much do any color except for gray. It's going to show up. So those are things you want to think about when you're working with different blanks. But for design space purposes, we're going to want to measure this. Now, this is similar to like a rectangle shape. So I'm going to measure this whole thing right here. This is given like 3 1/4, okay, by 1 1/4. Okay, so let's go into design space. So 3 1/4 by 1 1/4.
So good.
Yesterday's project's up. Did you guys make yesterday's project? It's amazing.
Yesterday's project was absolutely so much fun.
It's so good. If you missed it, you need to go back and watch it.
Watch the replay. Sign up for boot camp. Get it while the getting's good.
Get it while the getting's good, everybody. Okay, so I just went to shapes, select a square, and then when it comes in, you're gonna unlock your shape, change your width to 3.25, and then change your height to 1.25. And let's just zoom on in here, okay? Now, there's obviously a hole here. So let's measure how far down that hole goes from the edge. It goes down almost like 3/4 of an inch, maybe more like 1/2 inch. So I'm just gonna add a circle. This is just strictly for design purposes. I'm going to make this like, I don't know, 0.25, maybe bigger than that, y'all.
And you're going in depth. Like sometimes I wouldn't even go.
Sometimes people don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't. But this is such a weird shaped blank.
Right.
I just want to make sure that we are like doing it correctly. So you can do it with or without the hole. If you're like, that's too difficult for me, you can always just measure from the edge of this hole right here, like this edge right here, to the end of the blank. I think that'd be easier. Let's just do that. So we're gonna do 2.5 inches, okay? So instead of doing the circle and stuff, just to make it easier, we're gonna change the width of this to 2.5. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
So now we know we can fill up this whole space. And it's gonna be fine.
This is what I like to do.
Yeah, that's easier.
I like to make the shape the size of my safe zone. Like
yes,
I call that
that's
like
a good
my
way to
safe
put
zone.
it. Right. That's your, you know that no matter how big you make your vinyl here, it's gonna fit perfectly.
Exactly.
So we have this 2.5 by 1.25 safe zone.
I call this also I consider it like, it's just, you're getting the most for the least amount of time investment.
Right.
Right? Like Alicia can walk you through exactly how to recreate it and build your own, like if you needed to. It's just not required.
But do you need to?
Yeah, it's just not required, which is so fun.
So what I'm gonna do is select it, and we're gonna change this to the color of the blank. So we'll start with the gray one, and then I'm gonna just duplicate it, and we can change this one to either pink, yellow, or white.
Yes.
Just to kind of get a vibe for the glittery one. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna need to download our font. So if you haven't already downloaded your font, you're just gonna need to go to that supply page, and we're going to be using the Celine font. So let's go back up here. This font is one of our newer fonts. It's beautiful, gorgeous.
So good.
And you're gonna find this on the website. If you wanna use a different font, feel free. And we're gonna hit download. That's gonna pop up here into our zip folder. We're gonna click that, and then it's gonna unzip the folder. And then now here, we're gonna double click on that Celine.otf font.
Ooh.
Okay, and then you're gonna hit install. Okay,
Love it.
It's now on our computer, but in Design Space, we're gonna need to go back. So I'm gonna go down here and click on Design Space. And before I do anything, I'm gonna save my project. So go up to the top right and hit save. And we're gonna title this Stanley Toppers. I'm gonna save this to my project, Stanley Toppers. And then hit save. And then in order to get that font into Design Space, we're gonna go up here to View and Reload.
Yay.
And then now, when we go search for Celine, it's gonna be there. It'll be right there. So I'm gonna zoom back in. And if I'm ever too far away, y'all get on to me. I work from far away.
Yes.
It's just a habit. Okay.
Beth says, I literally looked through every single font last night for the perfect one.
Oh,
Yes, Beth, love it.
Beth, we're soul sisters. I do the same thing. I'll look for fonts for ages. It's a bad habit. Okay. Or a good habit. I don't know. Okay. So my text box kind of went down there to the bottom. I'm going to zoom back in. And then now we can change the wording to whatever we want. So I want to say this gray one is for Courtney.
Ooh.
Oh, cool. Let me fix how I'm spelling. Now let's change this font, okay? We're gonna keep your font selected so you'll know it's selected if you have this bounding box, okay? And then we're gonna go up here to this font drop-down menu. So I'm gonna select right here. And when you initially open it, it may be right here, but you can move this around so it's out of the way of where you're working, which is amazing that Cricut has done this for us. And so what we're gonna do next is go to our system fonts, because Cricut fonts are from Cricut.
Yes.
System fonts are in our system. So I'm gonna go here and let's type in the name of our font. So we're gonna be using Celine. I think this name is really long, so I'm gonna tell you guys what I think about it. We're gonna select it right here, and look, you can see that Courtney changes right away. Now, what I'm gonna do is resize Courtney down. Make sure your font is locked. If your lock looks like that, and you go in and start doing this with your font, just have me in the back of your brain saying, no, don't do that. Because it just makes your fonts look really crazy. So make sure it looks like this up here, and then resize. Now, in order for Courtney's name to fit on here, let's look at the measurements of this. Look up here. It's 2.1 by 0.6 in height, you guys. 0.6. We're working with adhesive vinyl. Now, if we were working with HTV and we were applying a heat transfer vinyl that already has that built-in carrier sheet, we could totally cut this out and I would be like, no problem. But since we're working with adhesive vinyl, what happens is we go to weed these, like the little inside of the O or the inside of the E, and it starts to pull up what we cut out and it ruins our vinyl. Now, we're working with the best vinyl that there is, so we may not have issues, but what I'm gonna do is cut out one with the font that we want, and I'm gonna pick another font that I think is a safer choice, and we're gonna cut that one out too. Because I'm worried that that's gonna mess up, and it's because Courtney's name's so long. If I wanted to really if I wanted to make it fit, I could change it to Court. And look, we can size it up, and honestly, that would probably cut perfect.
Love it.
So we could do that if you guys want. And then that's like the main thing. You want to be thinking about fonts and what type of material you're using. So adhesive vinyl, it's not as easy to weed as HTV. So just something to think about. So I'm actually just going to keep it at Court because that's cute. That's what we call her. And then for the glitter one, I saw somebody leave a comment. If this was you, I forgot who said it, but they were talking about on the glitter font that we should use a bolder font because it's going to show up better. And that's such a great point. And you can also stack vinyl so it pops off a little bit more. So let's just pull up a text box. Why did my text box keep, there it is. And we're going to add a name here. Okay. Let's do, oh, we don't want to put your name on the glitter one, do we? Let's just do Lauren's name. Okay.
So fun.
And then we can shrink this down. Now, I want to use a different font because the glitter, you're going to really want to pick something that's bold. And so this pink one is for our glitter one. So you can use a font that you've already got downloaded. If you're a member, you can get another font. That's a perk to being a member. You're gonna be able to just go onto the website and pick out whatever font you want. Something like chiffon would show up really well. That's really fun for that glitter. Or you could do something like Fabulosity is really cute. Super retro. So that's a good option, but you just want to think about your blanks, your colors, and all of the things like that.
So good.
Yeah, and I actually think I like chiffon. We're just gonna stick with that. I think that's really fun.
I love the chunky font.
Me too. We actually use this one. No, we use juniper. Juniper is very similar to this on the Easter egg.
The Easter egg is, y'all.
Iconic.
Can we just talk about, I know, so here at boot camp, we try to do like projects that you could make year round, that not seasonal, but like, y'all did an amazing project last week.
Yes.
It was epic.
And
You must go
everybody's been
watch
recreating
Yeah, you
them.
must go rewatch it.
It's so cute.
So fun.
So we're gonna have Lauren's here, and I think I'm going to stack these. So we're gonna do like 2 layers.
Now, someone just asked, can Design Space designs be used on the Juliet? No, you can't export designs you make in Design Space, but we are teaching an amazing secret class this Sunday for boot campers, and you do not want to miss this, y'all. It is a super secret class. You must be there live. You have to. There is literally urgency that I cannot wait to share with you this training, and then I cannot wait to share with you the secret surprise. It's at 8 p.m. this Sunday. If you're registered for boot camp, you are already enrolled.
Yeah.
So another reason to be registered for boot camp.
I love it.
So good.
Okay, so we've got some light pink in here, and we've got some white. I'm gonna actually change Lauren's to this darker pink. Okay, so here we go. Now all we need to do is hide these. Now if you're doing multiples of the same project, don't delete your squares because we've already measured these out. You know, it makes it a lot
Right.
easier when you go to cut it and stuff. So what I'm gonna do next, we've got everything here that we need to cut. Everything is sized correctly. That's really wanna make sure you size everything, and we've hidden our squares. The next thing we're gonna do is go to make it, and then we would just cut these out. Now I can put all of these on the same mat. So I've got Lauren here. I'm going to click on this next mat. I'm gonna hit the 3 dots up here in this left corner, okay? Hit that, and we're gonna select Move Object. And then we're gonna select this white mat. We're gonna cut all these at once because it's so small, it would be crazy for us not to, okay?
Right.
I'm just gonna put this down here at the 5-inch mark. We're gonna select our 3rd mat. I'm gonna hit those 3 dots, hit Move Object, and hit the white mat again. And then we're just gonna put this down here at the 10 mark. And look, we can cut all of these at once. So let's go overhead and put our vinyl on our mats.
So fun.
Love it. So we're gonna do Courtney in light pink. So if we go back to the share screen, you can see Courtney is up on the top left.
Love it.
Okay, so we're putting the color we want for Courtney in the top left. And then we've got one of the Laurens is at the 5 mark. So I'm gonna lay it a little bit above the 5 mark so we've got plenty of room to cut. Burnish it down. And then I'm gonna put this white, which we don't need that much. I'm just gonna trim it off. Cause y'all, these are like teeny weeny tiny. And this one's gonna need to go a little bit above that 10-inch mark. So we're just gonna
I
put it
love
right
this
there.
hack, by the way. If you're like, I want to become a pro, just do this.
Yeah. This will save you so much time.
This will save you so much time cutting vinyl or cardstock or anything like that.
Truly. Okay, and then in Design Space, we're going to hit continue. We're using our Explorer 3 today, and we're gonna be cutting this on premium vinyl removable mats. Keep it at default pressure. You're just gonna need that fine point blade, and we're gonna go ahead and load this into our machine. Make sure it's under those little lips, and it's gonna scan the mat and then cut it. Beautiful, right?
Now,
which I think is important for anybody, even if they are regularly using their Cricut, you always need to be
Yes.
refreshing your knowledge.
exactly.
Okay, so I'm just gonna weed these. Just got a standard weeding tool here. And this is the really dainty Courtney one, so be super careful.
And there's a couple tips that you could do when you are, weeding that. Like I burnish my vinyl before weeding all the
Yeah.
time. You could apply transfer tape and reverse weed it. There's a few different things, you can have up your sleeve that we teach in our 30-day challenge book. So if you have not bought your year membership, definitely grab your year membership. I'm seeing so many of you say yes, so welcome everyone. We're so excited to have you to spend a whole year with us. Such a great commitment to your crafting. A lot of people question, like, should I be a member if I am a hobbyist? Should I be a member if I want to sell? Should I be a member if I'm a full-time crafter?
All the
The
above.
answer is to all of this is yes. And for those of you who are like, oh, there's nothing that they can't teach me, right? Like I've already learned it. What I want to say to this is, you know, each month we come with new master classes, and just being around the community of like-minded crafters is well worth the investment. Plus the files, plus the fonts. Like you're gonna get so much value out of this community as long as you show up and participate. So we love it. So yay!
Okay, so I'm gonna grab this first Lauren. Okay, we're gonna do a little layer in here.
Yeah.
I'm grabbing the first Lauren, and then we're just gonna take it, and I'm gonna kind of apply it offset to this other Lauren to give it some depth. Burnish it down, and then we're gonna take it off, okay?
Yeah.
And then we're just gonna add this to our little sparkly thing here. See how much better that shows up, y'all?
So good. If you are not a member, you can get our lowest price, 75 off today using the code 75OFF. The year membership is, we have over 500 files released every month. We have over 20 fonts released every month. We have a library of 20,000 files. We have a library of 1,000 fonts. We have over 100 classes you can take on demand. We have our 30-day Master Your Cricut challenge available at your own pace, and so much more. Seriously, after we make the project, we'll show you around the membership.
Yes.
But it is incredible. All right.
Look how good that fits. Oh no. I burnished it too hard, you guys.
Uh-oh.
Okay, be a little bit less aggressive.
Yeah.
We're just gonna lay it back down, burnish it, and then remove
Woohoo, go
that transfer. Hold on. She's wanting to stick because I was a little bit too aggressive.
Yeah.
There we go. Beautiful. Look how pretty that pink is. So those are the two we just made. How easy was that, y'all?
Yay.
Oh my, this would be a great joy project, Lori.
So fun.
Okay, so there's those two. Let me show them close up, and now we're gonna jump right into resin, you all. Okay.
Woo-hoo. Are we jumping in?
We're jumping in.
Resin time.
Okie dokie. So I'm gonna set everything
This
aside.
is a perfect joy or joy extra project. Yes, yes, yes.
Absolutely. Okay, so we are this is what we're gonna be making. I'm just gonna leave it there so you guys can kind of have it in plain sight.
Yep.
I'm gonna be using this J Diction UV resin, and I'm gonna go ahead and put some gloves on. We're gonna need this, we're gonna need this. I've got my UV light on hand, ready to go. And I wanna say this is the...
Alicia, throw me this. How much...
This one?
Oh, I'm throwing you a question. I was meaning, I'm gonna throw you a question, you're gonna throw me an answer.
I'm gonna throw it back. I'm so dingy.
Tell me. No, it's literally me, not you. Also, y'all, you're talking about me getting more sleep. I did get more sleep than last night, and I just got a second coffee. I had no idea how many, just second coffee solves so much.
It really
Anyway, tell me this. Say I'm brand new.
Okay.
I want the light. I want a bottle of your resin.
Yes.
And I want some molds.
Okay.
How much? Like I would say under $60.
Oh yeah.
Like I would say $40 to $60 can get you started with resin.
Get you a couple basic molds.
Yes, but you're gonna make a lot of projects with that too, which is pretty impressive.
And buy you something that's like small, like the Stanley Toppers is a good starter, or like a keychain mold.
So true.
Keychains always are gonna sell, y'all.
Yep.
Keychains are a good bet. So something small, you don't need anything crazy. You can use an actual lighter. You don't have to use a blowtorch. So you have some of this stuff already. Okay, so to start, we are going to put down a layer of resin. So I've got my gloves on, I've got my UV resin right here, and all we're gonna do, and I'm using this mold over here. I'm sorry it's clear. I wish that you all could see it better. I'll try to hold it up. But what I'm gonna do is put down a pretty thin layer here, okay? And we're just gonna use our popsicle stick to smudge it around, okay? Now they do have like resin colorants and things like that that you can use But these look so cute clear.
Can you use anything other than the UV light? And the answer is yes. The beautiful sunlight you can use. So if it's sunny outside, you can use that. Unfortunately, here in East Tennessee, we cannot rely on that only.
Right.
So we have the light. So it's always
I
loyal.
love
Or if you
using
craft
the
at
sun.
night. Or if you craft at night.
Right.
Hey.
The sun is
good.
my favorite though, honestly. It really is.
Yeah.
Okay. And then sometimes if you go to camera 1, y'all, I have to literally get down here and you can see if you've missed little spots. Like I can see that I need to kind of move my resin over a little bit. And like y'all can't see it from your angle, but if you're working with resin, you'll be able to see it so much better if you get down here at eye level. And then now that it's smoothed out, I'm gonna take my butane lighter and I'm just gonna turn it on and literally that's it. So it's fun. Like you're just going very quickly. Ooh. And then we're gonna go ahead and get our flowers out. I'm just gonna sit this here. So
Nina says, I'm so glad that I'm not the smartest person I know. With that said, I purchased the year, and for the monthly cost to hang out with like-minded people was the same as I pay for 2 coffees. No brainer.
Yep.
Y'all, I say it all the time. You're so, like Nina, you are right. Like you're hitting it on like the head on the hammer, like on the nail. Like you got it, like exactly.
That's
like
what
we
mean.
Can inform you and give you all the files. Our team can curate everything for you, and you just get to benefit from it all for the cost of 2 coffees. What? And you can just make the coffee at home for those reasons.
Right.
Love it.
Okay, so I've got some tweezers here. I'm just adding in. I'm picking the flowers that.
So for our newbies, how much resin do you use? Do you fill it all the way up? Do you not halfway?
I would
what do you like to
say?
say?
A quarter for the first layer.
Yeah.
But you want to cover the bottom surface, so you need to cover it. Okay. So you want to make sure to cover it, but it also doesn't need to be full because we're going to be putting we're stacking layers here.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to be putting a few different layers on. Oh, these flowers are so pretty. I think I want to use like this little Shasta daisy right here. Look how adorable. I'm a sucker for dried flowers. It's like one of my favorite, I don't know, it's just one of my favorite things of all time. And then that one's kind of pretty, but it's a little big. These red ones are kind of pretty too. Ooh. I don't know, it's not fitting the vibe.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Are there discounts going from monthly to yearly? So Jeannie, if you do the math, you will save over $100 going from monthly to yearly, plus you get the Craft Tag Handbook. So if you are monthly, I do think it's the best time of the year to upgrade. If you do it by 3 o'clock today, you will be getting a an extra gift, just because I feel like there's energy in this room today, that there's people here that's like been following us for a while. Like if you've been following us for like years, I'm talking years, and you love hanging out with us, but you've never wanted to enroll, or you felt like it was impossible for you, I really want to invite you to like believe in yourself. Say yes to membership today. I would love to have you. We're going to hook you up with $75 off. You're going to get the Craft Tag Handbook and a special gift, but you have very limited time. So you got to go enroll. Cannot wait to get you these gifts. There's very few times that we have enrollment where you get a mailed to you goodie. So if you are a year member already and you're like, Tanner, I want a free goodie, you can go to makersgonnalearn.com/hacks. Sadie will drop that for you. You can take a 2025 Make-a-thon ticket, which is awesome. It's for next year.
So much fun.
You're going to get a supply box, or you can go ahead and grab let's see what else is there. You can get, if you want to learn how to sell, you can get Inner Circle, which is our full program teaching you how to make and sell your crafts. I actually coach in there, and our team coaches, our designers. We have a community manager that coaches in there. It's so good. So there's a lot of different programs. Maker University, Makers Gonna Sublimate, all of that will get you the Craft Tag Handbook this week. So yay!
I love it.
150 spots left, y'all.
150.
Less than that now.
Yeah, they're going
crazy
like hotcakes. Okay, so this is my design. It's a little different from this one, but you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna turn our UV light on, and I like to hold it directly over it. And this usually takes like 3 to 4 minutes, depending on how strong your UV light is. It's really not. And so I'm just gonna hold it pretty close. You can actually like sit it on there.
Wendy says, as a member, is there a place to ask for help or advice using the Cricut and crafting? Wendy, yes. Two places. Our member-only Facebook group is the best place, and here's why. We have amazing moderators. We call them VIMs. Such a great group. If they're here, give us a shout out.
They're amazing.
So many great friends in that community. We also have so many fellow members where you can ask, and it's such an uplifting, positive community, as you can imagine. Over 10,000 amazing crafters and souls in that community that you could get resources and advice from. We're in the group. And the second place is you can email us directly, hi@makerscanlearn.com. So either one, we will get you support. So super, super awesome.
And actually, Carol, one of our VIMs that we were just preaching about.
Hey, Carol.
Hey, Carol. We love Carol. She mentioned that you need to get clear resins when you're working with UV resin. So if you did casting resin, you can use whatever color molds. But with UV resin, you have to have that direct UV rays in order for it to cure fully, meaning it needs to harden. And if it doesn't have the UV rays touching it or getting to it, it's not gonna harden. So if you try to use UV resin in like a purple or a blue or a red mold, it's not gonna work. It has to be a clear mold. So obviously this mold is clear. It looks like it's covered in glitter, but the mold is glittery, like the actual mold is glittery. So yeah, you're gonna want to make sure to do that. And then what I like to do is take my stick. Y'all, it's hardened. It's like magic.
I love it.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And then, so what I'm going to do now, so this is what it looks like so far, okay? I'm not going to take it out of the mold, but you can see the flowers like are still kind of sticking out, but they're pressed down enough into the resin that we can seal them in. So we're just going to take this resin and we're going to go over top of all of this, okay? And pretty much fill it all the way to the rest of the top, okay? So I'm going to try to be like consistent in my distribution of the resin just to make this more clean, because resin can get like lumpy and gross if you don't have a good like touch to it. So I'm gonna some resins are self-leveling, which is amazing, and some are not. It just depends on what your resin says. This one is like 50-50. I don't feel like it's completely self-leveling.
Right.
Even if it said it was. I don't know that it says it is, but. And then I'm just getting the eye level, like I said before.
Yes.
And spreading this out. We want to make sure that our flowers are covered, because if you do try to wash this and the flowers are sticking out.
They have to be covered.
Yeah, they have to.
Yep.
Or it's going to get ruined. So I'm just spreading this out. Now, if you accidentally go up on the edges at all, we have sandpaper in here, so we can sand down the edges, which sounds crazy, but it works great. When I first started doing resin, I was like, you sand it? That's weird. But it works really good. And I can actually put a little bit more on here, but what I'm going to do is smooth this out. I'm going to take my torch, cure it, and then do the third layer after I've cured it.
Love it.
Okay. In my opinion, when you do thin layers, it just works better. Like curing multiple layers. If you try to do it too thick and cure it, it won't cure sometimes. So you've got to really pay good attention. Okay. I'm going to sit that right
Any
there.
UV lights will work. It just depends on the stronger the light, the less time it's required. So just think about that when you're making a decision on that. How many nameplates can you make with that size resin bottle?
Oh, gosh.
Brianna, you could probably make 20?
Oh, at least.
At least. Like, it's not much at all. Yep.
With this size, listen, the limit does not exist.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I'm going to actually cut a name for this so I can show you all how to apply a name to the resin one.
Yes.
So we're just going to recut Courtney's name.
Okay.
Because you're going to do the same exact thing if you were laying out names for this one. So we're just going to go in here and delete that. We're going to go to make it and then hit continue. We're still using just permanent vinyl. I'm going to use some of this scrap vinyl that we have in here. And it's nice because while it's curing, you can cut your words out. So it makes it really easy. And I think that white is going to be okay on here. Let's use purple.
And yes, if you're registered for boot camp, you have the full supply list with the files, so this resin is linked for you guys.
Yes. Okay.
Yay.
So we're just doing the same thing we did earlier. I'm using a purple resin to send through our Cricut.
Yep.
And then let's check and see if this is cured. I'm just using the same. Yeah.
So good.
Already hardened. I love it. It's incredible. It goes so fast. And then I'm just going to take my gloves. We're going to add that top coat, and that really should be it, y'all. That should seal it in.
Yep.
Okay. So we're just squeezing.
Look at that.
And this is going to be our top layer. Okay. Take this. Get it eye level. Sometimes you can even take your popsicle stick and kind of scrape it so it's...
That's a good tip.
Yeah, it like smooths it out, especially if you filled it all the way to the top.
Right. I like sometimes even like take it and like kind of like not beat it, but like let it fall on the, like to try to level it out and then use the lighter to like get all the air bubbles out.
Yes.
I mean, this is a fun craft, y'all. Like this is so good. So good.
I love it. So if you all are going to be, if you all have never tried resin before, I want you to put a heart emoji.
Ooh.
I want to know who is here and has never tried resin. Drop a heart
let
emoji.
Us know.
I would love to know.
We'd love to know.
Okay, and I'm just filling in any holes that might be there. And y'all, if you start and you're like, oh, mine didn't turn out good the first time, y'all, resin is something that you really kind of have to work at. But it's not hard, but they're just things that you have to learn to make it work right. So make sure you're following instructions on the bottle. Make sure you're following these tutorials to a T in order to get the results that you're wanting.
Love it.
Okay, and then we're just going to cure this last layer.
Yay.
While we're waiting for that to cure. And I have a ton of dried flowers left over, and like you can buy those on Amazon and Temu and wherever. Okay, we're just gonna weed this. Put some transfer tape over it.
So fun.
I love it. This is kind of like an accent color, so it should stand out pretty good on those pink flowers. Does anyone have questions about resin?
They're dropping lots of hearts, lots and lots of hearts. A lot of newbies are going to be crafting with resin. We're so excited. Welcome, Wendy. So good. Y'all, love it.
Okay. And then I'm still using that same transfer tape. Reduce.
Jeannie, yay! Welcome. Upgraded from monthly to yearly. Woohoo! Y'all are awesome. So much fun getting to craft with you guys today.
Oh my gosh, I love it. So we're just gonna peel that off.
Yeah.
And then let's see if it's cured. I don't like to touch it with my hand because it leaves fingerprints.
Would you recommend this as a first-time resin project? Yes, we totally would.
Definitely.
How long does the resin last, shelf life after it's open? Ours lasts forever. I mean, not ever, but like
depending on the brand you buy, sometimes they can like yellow and it's like they last, but they color.
How long would you confidently say?
A year.
A year. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, okay. That should be fully cured. Let's pull it out and see. If for some reason you pull something out of a mold and it's not cured, like I can tell this is a little bendy still, so that's giving not cured to me.
Right.
Like it's still, do you guys see how it's bendy? It's not fully cured. So let's just pop it back in.
Yes.
Just pop it right back in. And we're going to cure it a little bit more, okay?
Ooh.
And it's probably that first layer, to be honest. I may need to take it out and like cure it on the counter because I put that first layer in and then I put those flowers on it. So the UV light's not able to get to the underneath parts of the flowers as easily. So, Deb says, I like to dry my own flowers.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, how fun would that be? Like hand-picked
Love it.
dried flowers. Oh my gosh.
Ooh, so much fun.
I love it. So once we pull this out, sometimes there's little ridges, and that's what we're gonna use our sandpaper for. We just get this 220 grit sandpaper, and I'll literally just tear off like a little piece.
Not even much at all.
No, it'll like, I mean, you get like, I don't know, like 12 pieces in a pack.
Yeah. And we've linked all the supplies. If you're not signed up for boot camp, this is the 1 week out of the year, one of the weeks out of the year that you have to go ahead and just sign up for free. We are toying with doing like a paid Cricut boot camp sometime later in the year where we learn like a lot of fun Cricut skills, but this one's free. So all you have to do is sign up for your email, and then you'll get the supply list with all the links to the molds, all the files for free, everything. So good, love it.
This is what it looks like before I sand it. So it looks a little wonky, okay? It's like the edges are very rigid.
Yes.
And you can see there's like pieces on it. So what we're gonna do is just take this sandpaper and lightly sand our edges. Okay.
Yes, it's looking awesome.
So cute. And then you can add the vinyl and put a layer of resin over top of that as well if you want.
Right.
Also be very aware of sanding the pointy edges. Like this is where it fills in the Stanley Cup. So you don't want to sand that down.
Right.
But you do want to sand off the excess.
And you use the torch on each layer of the resin. Yeah, someone asked if it's only the first. It's each layer to make sure there's no bubbles or anything like that.
Yes, I used it on every.
So much fun. Can you put the name before the last layer of resin?
Yes.
That's what we'll do.
Yeah, we will. I'm going to put it on there, and then we'll just pop it back in the mold.
Yeah.
And then seal it in. So this purple is just what I had in here. I don't know that that's my number one choice. Uh-oh.
I like how you're giving so many options. Like if you just want to make this, you could order, the done for you ones and just add vinyl, things like that.
We wanted to have options because a lot of people don't like to work with resin. It can be very finicky.
Yes. Exactly.
I put my C too close to the edge and now my vinyl's messing up. Please hold. Oh my gosh. You know what? We'll just cut the T off for now. Core.
No worries.
We really cut it off.
Love it. Could you use Maker's Magic to seal vinyl instead of another layer of resin? Janice, you could. That's what I would probably do if I didn't have the resin. If I do have the resin, I would totally use the resin. The resin is just going to cure better, more professional. It's going to give you the better quality look. But it's nice to have other tools in our tool kit. Wendy, we were saying after opened, you would, we would say you have about a year of working time.
Yeah.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. So fun.
Okay, so I'm putting like a light layer over the top of this.
So for our tumbler, it's a 40-ounce tumbler. So that's the one we're working with today. Love it.
I'm just gonna push this to the edges, so you really don't need like a thick layer. We're just filling it in.
We're using a 220 sandpaper.
Yes. Beautiful. I feel like everyone's been super pumped about this. I'm loving it. I hope that you all are inspired to try resin. It's just such a fun craft.
Yeah, this is going to be such a great one for you to try resin, guys. So fun.
It's an interesting
we
way to
love
use your
Maker's
Cricut.
Magic as a sealer too. So so much fun.
Okay. And then we will cure that.
Yeah.
I'm going to run the lighter over it.
Yay.
Always get the lighter on it. So go on.
Always need the lighter.
Always. Usually do like 3 or 4 passes. You really don't need that much. And that's all.
That's so much fun.
Phyllis says the more you work with resin, the easier it is. I 100% agree. And yes, storing it out of light is a very good point. Project is either buying the mold or making it or buy the pre-made. Correct. I wanted to give you guys some different options.
Yes.
Audrey, you could hold the light under the mold. It doesn't go through as strong as like you would think it does, but it does reach it to some extent.
Yeah.
It's not going to cure it as fast as it is with me like putting it right over top.
Will it help to put the lamp underneath the mold?
That's what.
Sorry, yeah, dang it, I was reading the comment and you're reading it too.
Yeah, I think it definitely just put it on top.
Is the flame touching the resin? It can.
Yeah.
I mean, it totally can. Like, it's not, you're not going to burn your resin.
I wish that you can really notice it with casting resin because when you spin it, it gets bubbly. And then when you pour it, there's so many bubbles and then they pop. Like as you heat it up, they just burst. But UV resin, you don't really have as much of an issue.
Love it.
Oh, it's just, isn't that so fun?
Yay!
I love it.
So good.
And it does hover a little bit, but it's like, it looks good still, in my opinion. So cute.
I love that.
Yes.
I literally.
This is what we're going to be creating today. It says Mimi's Garden. And this has a picture of each different birth flower and the names underneath it. I absolutely adore these. So we are going to be creating these today. Now, like I said earlier, this is all, we're going to teach you how to set this up in Canva, how to print it. All of this stuff is going to be found. Is our sublimation printer on?
Oh, I'll go turn it off for you.
Okay. Or if you want to just bring it here, you can just bring it in here.
Okay.
Yeah, just bring it in here and bring me some paper.
I got you.
And we'll just print it in here. We'll just take the Cricut off the table. We'll do it all from here and go from there. So, wow, hold on just a second. Let me just go ahead and move this big old honking thing out of the way. Get it out of there. Now, somebody did ask a question earlier. Hold on, guys. I'm going to set this down on the floor because if I don't, it's going to fall. And let's just go ahead and put our sublimation printer up here.
Can you reach the plugger?
Just right here. Yeah.
Beautiful.
And grab me some. No, there might be some.
There might be some.
There's not. Grab me some paper. Now, somebody did ask a question earlier. They asked, oh, thanks.
Right there in the drawers, we put them in.
I know.
Imagine us putting something where it's supposed to go.
I know. Imagine us putting stuff where it should go. Not me. Somebody asked our favorite sublimation paper. My personal favorite sublimation paper is going to be A-Sub, and I'll go ahead and we'll go overhead so you guys can see this. A-Sub is my favorite. Now, have we sublimated on regular paper before? Yes, we have. Have we sublimated on different brands of paper before? Absolutely. Hippo brand, Cosmos ink, Koala, A-Sub,
copy paper,
all of these, we have sublimated on. I truly believe that you're gonna get your best results from A-Sub. This is just my personal opinion. Something about this paper, it just feels different. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's like the Koala brand. And I say that we got the Koala brand in the 13 by 19.
Yeah.
And it works fine.
Yeah.
You can just tell it's a lot flimsier.
It is. The A-Sub feels really good quality.
Well.
Yeah, I agree.
So anyway, we love A-Sub paper. That's what we're gonna be using today. Take a screenshot. It should be linked down below. This is my favorite. This is the 8.5 by 11. You can see here that it does, there's 3 packs of 8.5 by 11 in there. I should have just looked. It comes in lots of different sizes, 8.5 by 14, 13 by 19. We actually, looks like we did this on 8.5 by 14, which you can see here is the blue box. So we'll just use 8.5 by 14 paper today. This gives us a little more room to design further down. But, I was like sending digital hugs, tissues, and chicken soup, and I was, that's terrible of me. My first thought is, who died? Not who's sick.
Just me.
My bad.
I know, I'm sorry I sound awful, guys.
So I'm just gonna stick this bad boy in there. Of course, so we have our A-Sub paper. We do have our Sublimation garden flag. This is also gonna be linked down below. Y'all, you don't have to Google search and purchase blanks that say sublimation blanks on them. So just check your content. Check the content of what you are gonna be sublimating on. If you are in person, Check to see how much polyester. Most of these garden flags are going to be 100% poly. They have to be to withstand the weather outside. So these, if you just type in blank garden flags, don't let that one word sublimation. A lot of sellers I've been seeing, they'll put sublimation in front of something and sell it for $4 more just because it says sublimation on it, when the regular garden flag would have done the exact same thing.
Exactly.
So check your content when you are looking for blanks to sublimate. Don't purchase something just because it says sublimation in front of it.
That should be like the #1 sublimation hack. Like, don't shop for sublimation blanks. Here's why.
Yeah, definitely you need to look at your content, make sure you're doing the right thing, or not doing the right thing. Sorry. I was thinking make sure you're doing the right thing. I didn't
be a kind person.
Be a good person. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Get your life together, Lord.
I can't get my life together. Let's start designing our sublimation flag. Let's just go ahead and go in.
Sin said she loves your hair, and I'm just here to second it. I love a high bun, though. I'm a sucker for a high bun.
I do love a high bun.
It's cute.
I'm glad y'all think that because it's so dirty.
And a scarf. That needs to be your new dirty hair day.
Dirty hair?
Yeah.
Well, I'm about to get my bangs cut.
I know.
Y'all heard it here first. Lauren's getting bangs.
But that's going to be cute with bangs, too. That style with bangs?
It will be.
Oh,
it may be added to our rotation. Okay, so let's go ahead and start designing our garden flag. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to come to Canva. This is, like I said earlier, this is an online, cloud-based, digital design platform that we use so much. We're gonna go to create a design. This next part is one that you need to pay attention to because in my opinion, when it comes to sublimation, this part has so much to do with making sure your prints come out the correct size. So I'm gonna come down here to the bottom where it says custom size. I'm changing my units from pixels to inches, and now I'm going to make my custom size the same size as the paper I am printing on. Okay, why do we do that? I want somebody to pop off in the comments and tell me, why do you think we're gonna make it the size that we're printing in?
So that the print doesn't go off the paper.
Thank you. Or so that the size that we create it is going to be the size that it prints.
Yes.
If you create this, let's say on 8.5 by 11 or whatever, and then you go to print and you're like, oh, I'm gonna do this on 13 by 19, the proportions are gonna be so off.
And like, it'll not center it on your paper too,
Yes.
which sometimes can negatively affect your, like it can cut off parts of your design and things like that.
So we're doing this on legal paper. So we wanna do 8.5 in width, 14 in height, okay? From there, create a new design. Good job. Everybody's answering correctly. Gold stars for everyone. So now that we have this, we don't need this over here. You can exit out of that and we can zoom in. So I want you to think of this as like your garden flag. This is our garden flag. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start building our design. So the first thing we have to do is we did grab these fonts and these files from Maker's Gonna Learn. I'm gonna show you how you can upload all those into Canva and use those. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna hop over here to MGL. The first font that we're gonna be using is Celine. What you need to do is download that one. So while that downloads, the second one is Estuary, two of our absolute favorite fonts.
Yeah.
We're gonna download that one and put it there. I'll exit off of this. And then the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna grab the flowers that we need. Now, this is gonna be determined on the people that you're putting on there, when is their birthday, all of that stuff.
Right.
So, you have one for Mimi's garden, right?
Yeah.
Does anyone else need another? Were you going to make two for Mimi?
No, she doesn't need one. I'm trying to, what about Holly? What about Penny?
Yeah, I was about to say I could do one for my mom, but there would just be
One
Asher.
flower?
I could do me, Meredith, Sarah, and Asher.
You could. That would be cute. Would she like that? Margie only has 2, or she only has Georgie and Ruby.
You could do you and Trey technically for Margie.
Yeah.
Because Trey is hers, and I mean you helped create Georgia and Rube, so why don't you do Margie one? Margie would love it.
Okay. She does a flag. She has a flag.
Okay.
That she puts out for all the holidays.
And do you want to do Margie's garden, or what does she go by?
Graham's.
Graham's garden.
Graham's garden.
Lovely. Okay, so for Graham's garden, we need Ruby's birthday. So how you're going to find these files, you are going to type in the month and then watercolor. So for Ruby, we need September. So we're going to type in September watercolor. From there, once you search, it should pull up, no problem, September.
Is Morning Glory.
Georgie and you are September. I thought Ruby is November.
November, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, me and so you'll have 2 morning. Actually, Lauren, this might not be cute because me,
You,
Georgie,
Trey,
and Trey.
Georgie. Yeah,
We're all
we
September.
don't want 4 morning glories.
Okay, let's reevaluate. Why don't you just do the same
Well,
and do
let me-
Papa's
yeah.
garden? Because my dad is really into gardening. It could be Papa's garden. He could put it out in his
Yeah.
little area.
Yeah, we'll do Papa's garden then. So we're going to do a September, then we need a November. Also, did you guys know that there are 2 birth flowers per month, almost every single month?
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh.
Because I feel like January's, specifically January's, is either a snowdrop, which looks a lot like the lily of the valley, which
Yeah, I
is
was about to
maize,
say, okay.
but it's either a snowdrop or a carnation. And the
Okay.
reason that I know that is because me and my sisters were looking at doing a tattoo,
Yeah.
but like we were trying to decide which flower we wanted to represent our month.
Okay.
So that's
you
how-
you had options.
We had options, but we ended up going away from that, so we're not going to do that anymore.
Oh, no more birth flowers.
Hoosier. What's Jackson's? April?
Is it April?
Is
March?
I think April or March is the...
I should know my
daffodils.
nephew's birthday. I'm pretty sure it's March, but
Let's see. We're searching April watercolor. April is a daisy. So it is March.
okay. Phew. Hopefully my sister's not watching this. I'll like literally text Hannah sometimes. She's like, I watched your live today. I'm like, why? Don't watch me.
Okay, so we downloaded all of those. You can see here, they're all downloaded over here. Now, this is, you can unzip these. Actually, we'll just go ahead and click on them and unzip them. So we have unzipped this one, and then we need to unzip Celine. You can see now that is unzipped. We'll unzip this one. I just keep doing the daffodil. This one and this one. Beautiful. We have all of those unzipped. Now all we have to do is come back over here to Canva. Well, this is how you're going to upload a text. Now, for uploading text, you do have to be a Canva Pro user. FYI.
If you want to do your own
If you want to
font.
do your own font. If you don't have Canva Pro, but you want to create this, you can come over here. You can add you a text box, and you can go to any of these Canva fonts that don't have a little crown on the side. However, if you want access to these amazing fonts and files, you have to be a part of our membership. And you can be a part of our membership for only $1, in case you were wondering. And you can get all these as part of your 20 downloads. So I'm going to have Sadie drop that dollar deal link for those who might be wanting to try out MGL and our cut files and fonts. But I'm going to be showing you how to download one of Maker's Gonna Learn's fonts into Canva. So first thing, you're going to come over here to text. In the new interface, there's like when you add your text box and you come over here, here is where I'm talking about where it says upload a font. I personally have not had any luck at all uploading a font from this section.
What? I always upload mine there.
I can't. It never pulls it up. Do you see this?
Well, on the mini Mac it doesn't, but on my computer it will.
Well, I've just gotten to where I just go here to brand kit, go to edit, fonts,
Excuse me.
add new, upload a font, and now you are going to be able, you can drag and drop, or you can go to add new. Now you can
Just search it when you hit add new font. That's
Add
the only
new.
way.
Celine.
Celine.
And then you're gonna go to open, and yes, upload anyway. Upload selected, and there is your font.
Beauty.
Yes, Annette, I understand that fonts can't be zipped, but like, okay, let's
You're
just,
unzipping them and
I
they're
had
still
unzipped
not
them.
allowing.
Yeah, let's just do it from here, and let's just type in Celine and see if it works. Or let's
Yeah,
do the
it
other
will.
one.
Estuary.
Estuary.
Did you unzip it after you downloaded it?
I misspelled it a while ago.
Oh.
Estuary, open, yes, upload anyway.
So basically the same thing.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So it did do the same thing, we just have to search.
Yeah.
So that is how, that's how we upload our fonts from Maker's Gonna Learn. Now, if you're just wanting to upload files, images, things like that, we can go here to our uploads or elements, really whatever. Once again, my favorite way is bringing in our Finder like this. Here is our March daffodil, and we'll go drag, drop. Are y'all seeing this? March, drag, drop, and drag, drop. Now I have all three of my flowers that I need. Beautiful. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add those to my design. That way they are here. We'll size them down just a smidgen.
Y'all, I don't know. Do you read poetry? Are you into poetry, Lauren? Like as much as you are normal books?
Not as much, but I do enjoy poetry.
Okay. This flag reminds me of a poem. It's very short. It's like, this isn't even a poem. It's like a verse from a hymn, an old hymn. I want to read it to you guys because I think it's so pretty. It's like
Okay.
my favorite of all time. It says, the kiss of the sun for pardon, the song of the birds for mirth, one's nearer God's heart in a garden than anywhere else on earth.
Oh, that would be cute to put on it.
Isn't I know. I think that would be so cute on a garden flag.
I said I was gonna put grandpa's?
Papaws.
Papaws. P-A-P-P-A-W or P-A-P-A-W?
Actually, I've been spelling it like pawpaw, but Ruby calls them papaw.
Like that? Pawpaw? That's
Yeah.
pawpaw in
I
my
know,
opinion.
but she won't call them that. She calls them papaw.
2 P's?
1 P. Yeah.
Okay. Papaws. And I'll change the color here in just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. After I kind of put everything where I want it to go. So now we're gonna add another text box. Guys, did you know that you can add a text box by hitting letter T? I'm gonna say it every single time I'm in
Lauren's
here.
favorite party trick.
God, it is. It is my, hands down, my favorite party trick. So we're gonna top out garden and then change the font from Celine to Estuary.
Annette is almost done with the Canva course.
That's exciting.
Yeah, that's amazing. Papa's garden.
I don't know how large and in charge I want it. I'm kind of just trying to play around with it right now. Brother, I can't get it where I want it.
Hold the command key down.
It's not that. I'm just kind of like
Oh,
just playing
you don't
around
know.
with placement right now. Like that's way too close. I don't know. We'll come back to Papaw.
A part of me wants Papaw and Estuary and garden in script, and Papaw should be bigger.
I know. Let's just test.
Just piddle.
We're just piddling.
Just not us. Just piddling.
That is honestly, I was born to piddle.
Natural born piddler.
For sure. Papaw's garden.
Lowercase g.
Yes, for sure.
Sorry, I'm not trying to boss you
No,
around.
please do.
I'm just
because-
offering ideas.
Oh, yeah. Papa's may used to be a little bit too big. Like, part of me wants it offset like this.
Yeah.
We'll play around with it. We're still working.
We're still working. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to add in, and I'm going to zoom in so we can see this a little better. We're going to add in our birth flowers. So you can do this as large or as small as you would like, depending on how many people that you have. I would just play around with it and make it work. Now, we did have a question that I wanted to address. We had someone ask when we are going to look over
Canva homework.
Canva homework. We're going to do that here in the next couple weeks. We have a lot of stuff going on here in our office right now, so we are going to be doing that. Trust us, we have not forgotten about you guys, I promise.
And if you guys have any questions about the homework or anything in Canva, you can always email our customer service, hi@makersgonnalearn.com, and we can answer it like directly.
Right.
But like obviously if you complete the course, like you get the certification and stuff, so we're gonna have to look at y'all's homework and, you know, let y'all know if you officially graduated. I mean, I won't say graduated, but that looks cute.
I know, I'm liking so far. I feel like, I don't know. Is it just me or does it still feel like like they should be a little bit bigger? Not bigger? Maybe just a little bit bigger? Maybe just a little bit bigger.
Well, they'll be bigger when you add the words on too, like they'll seem bigger, I feel like.
Right.
But yeah.
I'm just gonna do that and then grab all of these and pull them down. Whoa, that one is off quite a bit. Okay, now what we're gonna do, we're gonna zoom back in like this.
Zoom back in.
Oh, Rosalind said, I stay away from Canva because I can't figure it out. I would love to use it, but I don't know it. Rosalind, I'm so glad
You're
said that.
in the right place.
You're in the right place. Like, we're just talking. We're just going back and forth, like, telling you guys. But we have a full course. It's called Digital Design for Creatives, where we teach you how to first of all, we teach you everything you need to know about Canva. We teach you how to then use Canva as a design software and use it with your die cutting machine. So much. We're going to teach you all of the ins and outs about Canva.
Yes, and there's a link in the chat. There's a link in the description where you
Yes.
can get access to that.
If you'll click the link that Sadie just dropped for you guys, or dropped for you, Rosalind, you can check out the Digital Design for Creatives course, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to add in our names. So we're going to make this larger. We're going back to Celine. And this is one where I definitely think you need a cursive or a script font underneath your birth flowers. I feel like it just looks like it flows better with the end. So first one is going to be Emery. And what we're gonna do is and this is my suggestion to you guys. I would maybe start with one, okay? We're gonna start with one, like this. Now I'm going to design the bottom portion of it. If you want anything, like, we'll go overhead. You can see that this one says Love Grows here. You can put whatever you want at the bottom. I would do one name, go back to our share screen, do one name here, then put what you want at the bottom. That way you kind of can see how much room you're working with, and all you have to do is, well, I mean, I guess you could, if you like this size, I would duplicate this size and keep the same size with every name.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts.
You want to have your fonts very close in size, if not
Yeah.
exactly the same if you can. Just from a design aspect.
From a design aspect, it looks so much better when your names are the same size. So, but I mean, if you have a very long name, like Georgia is a little bit longer. than Ruby and Emery. So we'll just play around with that and see what it looks like.
Poor thing. We call her George. We just do. We were just talking about it yesterday. We don't even call her Georgia. She's just George. Georgina, Bobina.
And then this one is Jackson.
Jackson.
So it's Jaxson.
Yeah.
Okay. Boop. And now we can zoom back out and see what it looks like. And actually, I think, what just happened?
Oh, Annette said that Canva updated their layout. So they must have started putting the stuff out. So the updated course should be up for you guys very soon. We've already refilmed everything like, I guess like a month ago at this point.
Yeah.
Pretty much immediately we started refilming the entire Canva course with the glow up. So if you guys already have the Canva course, you will be getting the updates very soon.
What you think?
That looks cute.
Beautiful. I think it looks pretty lined up.
I feel like Emery should come up a hair.
Her
like
flower?
to line up with, no, like the flower and her name to, oh, maybe just the flower.
I think it's just the flower.
Yeah,
her
maybe
name
that's
was
it.
lined up at the bottom here.
Okay.
So actually, scratch what I said earlier. I think it looks better when you line the names up at the bottom, and then if you have to, from there, you can resize your flowers and make them like
fit the words.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. That's cute.
Like this one, I'm making it a little bit bigger.
He's the oldest anyways.
Like that.
That's cute.
Now, do we want them to be green again? I'm kind of digging the black for some reason. Or what if we just change the green, these to green, and leave Papa's Garden?
Yeah, like, so they're like continuations of the stem. That's cute. I like the black too. And then you could do Love Grows Here in black.
Yes. So we're going to change the color of our garden flags. You can do this a couple different ways. I'm going to grab this picker actually, and I'm going to come in here to this green. That's the ticket right there.
That's cutie pootie.
Cutie patootie.
Cutie patootie is what I mean.
Yes, cutie pootie.
I hate when I do stuff like that.
You all don't even understand the embarrassment that me and Alicia get when we walk out of this room on some days. Whew. Whew.
I have been doing stuff all day. I think it's because I've been sick and medicine just makes me feel so loopy.
I know. Okay, so we're gonna add Love Grows Here at the bottom. It's not gonna be this big. I'm just using the estuary font again. Love Grows Here. This is really big.
That's a big one.
That's large and in charge and looking for chickies. Have you never seen Joe Dirt?
Yeah, but I don't remember that. Large and in charge.
She's large and in charge and looking for chickies.
I haven't seen it in so long.
Oh gosh.
That's so funny.
I still think Love Grows Here is a little big. I'm gonna make it about like that.
I thought you were gonna say I still think Joe Dirt's a good movie because
it is. It is.
It is a good movie. I love Joe Dirt.
It's my favorite.
It's
actually.
so good.
Okay, so now let's look at this from like standing back. Another thing you need to think about is you all must leave space up here at the top because you are going to have about a 1/2 inch here that can't be sublimated on. So please keep that in mind. Leave extra space at the top. Once you have done that and you are finished designing, guys, we're ready to print and press. What we're gonna do is we're going to go to share. Somebody said, shouldn't rubies be a little taller? It can be. Let's make it a little taller.
I wish I was a little bit taller.
I wish I was a baller.
I wish I had a girl who looked good, I would call her.
I wish I had a rabbit and a hat and a bat and a 6'4" Impala.
Hey.
Okay, sorry. We have too much fun here.
Straight to jail.
We need to go straight to jail. Thank you, Debbie, for pointing that out. We're gonna go to share. Download. Doesn't have to be a transparent background. We're printing it on white, doesn't matter. We are doing this as a PNG, and we're gonna download. Doesn't have to be transparent background, guys. Not with this, because we are going to be sublimating this, so it doesn't have to be transparent background.
And it also doesn't have to be mirrored because...
Doesn't, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be mirrored. I'm actually gonna show you how you can mirror from your print settings. Because I think it's so much easier, to mirror from print settings. So here we go, we've opened, wow, what did I just do? What did I just do? Nothing, I wanna pull this over. I wanna be done. Okay, well, fine. There we go. Okay, here is what we are printing. Here's what we're printing. So we're gonna go to, I just hit Command P. You can do this by going to File and Print. I love to do Command P. Here is our print window. We are gonna be printing this on our Epson SureColor F170 series, but let me show you, if we were to be printing this, let's say on the ET8500, how you are going to flip it on a converted printer. If you'll go down here to Layout, you can flip horizontally. Or it says, some will say flip horizontally, some will say mirror image. If you'll just click that, it's going to flip it for you, so you don't have to go through the process to do it in Canva. So just flip horizontally there if you do have a converted printer on it. Those blue dots are just where I accidentally clicked it, and I don't know how to get it to go away. Like, I don't know what I did. So I'm not messing with anything else. I'm just going to print. But it's not there on the print, so it's all good.
That's weird. I've
so
never
we're
seen
doing
that.
the Epson SureColor F170 series. We are gonna have to change the paper size to legal paper. Do you all see how that changes? It goes from letter 8.5 by 11 to 8.5 by 14. You need to make sure that we scale this image to 100%. That is going to give you the exact size that you created in Canva, okay? So 97 is close enough. I still like to change mine to 100%. That way 100% know I'm getting 100% of everything I just designed. So that's why I change my scale. I change it from scale to fit to scale and 100%. From there, we're not gonna go very much into our color profiles, color settings. We do all of that in our sublimation course. Just know that there are very specific color profiles depending on what printer you're using. So now we know that this is already, we can check it here, go to your layout, or actually go to, is it not color matching? There it is. It's in print settings. If you have an Epson SureColor, it's in print settings. You can see that it is mirror image. I am changing it to fine quality and just leaving it on regular print settings and hitting print.
Yes. This is so cute.
Okay, I gotta turn my, oh my God, my heat press wasn't on.
Just press it.
We're just gonna press. We're just gonna press. This is another thing. If you have a sublimation printer, print quite frequently. You need to make sure you're printing. We still have to wait for this to heat up. So while that is heating up, let's go look for birth flowers. Does anyone have any questions right now? Shannon, I already bought my Makeathon ticket. Shannon, if you'll email customer service, hi@makersgonnalearn.com, they can refund you your Makeathon ticket and get you that bundle. If they will look at your stuff personally, and if it will work better for you, they can refund you that and you can get the bundle. Yes, Donna, I know colors won't pop until it's pressed, but I also have sublimated enough to know that I don't feel like that looks right. But we're gonna try it. It could be something to do with our printer because we've not used this printer. I've not updated the firmware on it in a while, not updated anything on this printer, so it might be the printer. We're gonna look at our share screen for birth flowers. Birth flowers.
Birth flower.
And this is for those that while we are waiting on our heat press to heat up, this is for our friends who maybe want to do this without sublimation.
Yes, because not everybody has all the things for sublimation.
Because I thought we had other birth flowers, did we not? Maybe it's one word.
We do have lots of flowers options.
Birth flower.
I'm wondering if you could find your birth flower and then search whatever it is on our cut files.
Okay, so let's just do
Like a daisy is a birth flower, or a morning glory.
deco art. Where did that come from?
Is that what you typed?
I did not. I typed in a D and must have hit enter, and deco art was in the search. So like this would be a really cute this one, April daisy.
Okay, so maybe
Let's just search May. Literally just May.
so the birth month is more.
Yeah, so
it's more
search
better.
your month.
Okay,
May is May Lily of the Valley.
there you go.
There you go. So you could even do those in HTV. If you want to do the watercolor, that one would require you to do printable HTV, but you could do them in like these little simplistic, they're not single line designs, but they are more of a simple looking birth flower.
Yeah.
You could do so much with HTV because here's the watercolor one that we're using today, but like this one is also very cute for a simplistic design.
Yeah,
That I adore.
I love it.
So just search your month. So let's do February. That's a bad month to even try to. February.
February.
June. We'll just search June.
Mayonnaise splat. Y'all, we got it.
What?
We got it all.
Mayonnaise flat. I thought you were telling me some kind of joke.
No, we have a file called. Has anyone used it? I would love to know. Why do we have that? What in the world?
It could be for a cute picnic bulletin board.
I'm sure that's what it's for.
It could be for a picnic bulletin board, Alicia. Okay, anyway. Yes, they do have rose. June rose. Those.
Oh, okay.
There's another one.
Okay,
It's better.
cool. I love it. Look at those bows. Those are so cute. Y'all, bows are in. If you're looking for what's on trend right now, bows.
Bows.
Put a bow on it. It could be anything. Put a bow on it.
Tony Toka says, "What's in your water?" I don't have any. That's the problem.
I know. I need
Neither
some
one
water.
of us have
I
anything
did take
to
a
drink.
Sudafed. I'm
I
not
did
gonna
not.
lie.
I did not. We're
had to.
still waiting on this thing to heat up.
What's it at?
205. We need to be at 375.
It's okay. We can hang out with you guys. Okay, let's see.
I should have turned this heat press on earlier.
It's okay. Christine says, since those are thin, can we draw? Like, I think you're asking if we can draw them using Cricut Design Space. You're not going to want to draw on your little guy.
No, but this is a monoline. This should be able to be turned into a pin function.
Yeah, if you're putting it on something besides a garden flag, that's what I was trying to say. Like, you could put it on a card, or these will be really cute for cards.
While this is heating up, let's just see how this pops into Design Space.
Okay.
Oh, first of all, I need to unzip it, I guess. Beautiful. Back here, upload image.
What's your birth flower?
Lily of the
Daisy?
Valley.
Oh.
So we can do SVG or PNG. Let's do the
yeah.
SVG. Because we're turning it into a pin function. Curious. So basic cut, pin. Oh, that one does come in. But let's try it PNG because it's supposed to be monoline. Give me a second.
Are there other things for months, like animals and stuff? Birth animals? I'm gonna Google it. September, you guys want to guess what it is?
An animal?
It's a rooster.
I was going to say a raccoon.
A raccoon! Okay, May birth animal. I bet yours is a raccoon.
Oh, it doesn't. It's still doing the double line. Anyway. So what I'm doing now, I'm tearing, we'll go overhead, I'm tearing this just so I don't get such a harsh line at the top of my press. So I'm just tearing those edges there. I'm not gonna be able to tear the sides. It's gonna be fine. We're just gonna tear along the bottom though. And you can tear as close to the sides as you can feel comfortable with. This is gonna be very, very helpful, especially if you are pressing on neoprene or like a very rigid surface. What?
They're like, they're gonna go to war for ranch.
Okay.
But like they're not wrong.
I did a quick pre-press just to get the stuff out, like the lines and stuff. Y'all, this is some real thick fabric.
I know,
lovely.
it is thick. It's 40.
Do we know where we got these?
Probably in a kit off of Amazon. I think that Mary Catherine put a link below for you guys.
Will you check that?
Yes, I just clicked it. Oh, hold on. My browsers are messed up, y'all. I don't know what's going on over here. Let's see. I'm gonna double check the link just to be sure.
Okay.
But it is there. I'm just gonna make sure.
Beautiful. I just didn't know if it came from somewhere that had a very specific like time and temperature, because that's another thing that you all need to get used to doing if you are into sublimation. And I'm saying this to myself mainly, just because one thing presses at a very specific time and temperature does not mean that everything needs to press. Now there is a general rule of thumb. Most sublimation occurs between 370 and like 400 degrees. Yes, that is correct. It does need to be a pretty high temperature depending on the material, but not all material can withstand that high of a heat.
So, our link is messed up, so I'm glad that you said that. I'm gonna fix that. But it says between 392 and 428. But there's typos in this description. It also says printing time is 20 to 30 seconds, and I think it means pressing time.
Okay, well, I'm personally gonna go with 375 for 60 seconds.
That's like a really good go-to, honestly.
That is my favorite
That's
go-to.
my go-to,
That's where I like to live with sublimation. If I don't 100% know and I can't find the information, I like to live around 375, 380 for 60 seconds. Oh, we're only at 29 seconds. Y'all, if I don't bump this up, it's gonna be beeping for 30 full seconds, and I can't handle that.
Donna says July's condiment would be cocktail sauce. That's a good one.
I'm so sorry. It came out all right, I think.
It doesn't even look like it transferred up on there.
You know what? It doesn't, but it does from the back. I want to look at it before I show you guys.
Ooh.
It looks pretty good.
She's
now, I will
pretty.
say the colors are a little darker.
Yeah, that's okay.
I don't know. I'm kind of digging.
I
It's
like-
it's also like it needs to cool down some, but look how cute.
I want to see. Oh, I love those colors.
I like these colors better.
Yeah.
I don't know what, they're just deeper.
I like darker colors anyways.
So like here are the two side-by-side comparisons. Let's show them. So this one came from the Epson ET. This is the, or not the ET, this is the, it also does look a little yellow, like burnty.
It does look a little burnty, but like not awful. It doesn't look burnt on screen.
Maybe I would do 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is the colors that came out of the Sure Color. This one, I would assume, probably came out of the Epson ET8550, which has different ink, but you can see the difference in sublimation just on the different printers and different inks that you use. So,
Yeah.
you know.